Hi everyone, I'm way too busy and I keep seeing new stuff. I don't have time to do my follow-up video, so I'm going to do it in segments and throw some new stuff in there along the way. So this is part one. First, some new stuff. Not sure if anybody else has spotted this yet, but driving home from Mexico, I saw that the E and the V on Chevrolet is now connected. I looked it up on Logopedia. None of their logos there have the E and the V connected, but this is the way it looks on signs in real life now. Passed an Office Depot and I was like, what the heck is that? Never seen an Office Depot where the first word is way bigger than the second word and in a completely different font. In fact, the OFF is just giant. It's like off Ice Depot instead of office. Where I came from or whatever is happening, nobody really did logos with the first word and the second word in two different fonts, although that's a really interesting, unique idea. I've just never seen it before. So I looked that one up on Logopedia. I also didn't see that they have ever had Office Depot in the same font, like the whole two words in the same font. I remember the first word looking more like the depot does now. Also seen a couple now popping up on blue backgrounds, which is totally new to me. I've only ever known that store to be on red. I've been meaning to look up Taco Bell because I remember Taco Bell on a brown background with a yellow bell and some red in there. And I didn't know if it's just a logo change or what. So I looked it up on Logopedia and it's not there at all. But I looked it up online and just put in brown Taco Bell sign and I found a ton of them exactly how I remember them. So that's when I realized, oh my gosh, I don't think we can trust Logopedia anymore. I'm still going to use it to look things up, but first of all, if there's a Mandela effect and it's new, it's going to be on Logopedia, even if it's not, what we remember. And secondly, we can't really trust it because apparently not all of the variations are going to be on Logopedia. It's still a good resource, but, what are you going to do? This one is crazy. Residual follow-up evidence to the 7-Eleven assertions I made in the Mandela Effects 2018 video, which I know what I remember, but whatever. A lot of people called me crazy and insane when I started talking about some of these things, and guess what? I'm not. One night I found a store just like the ones I remembered, and I had put in the video spelled out 7-11. I took this picture myself. Now the craziest part about this picture and store that you're probably not going to believe, but I don't care anymore. This photograph has changed too. So what happened is I found this store and I was freaking out. I took a picture of it and I was like, oh my gosh, one of them survived the change. And then I found a second one, this one, and it survived the change too. It has black painted all around it, so I don't know if that had something to do with it. But the craziest part is I was staring at these photos and I was thinking, no, it wasn't like this though. It wasn't exactly like this because the dash between the 7 and the 11 was green. When I had it around in my neighborhood, before the signs all changed or before they ripped them all off quickly in 1 millisecond while we were all frozen and put them somewhere else. I don't know. But I've honestly never ever seen in my whole life, I've never seen the 11 written out. It was only the 7 and the numbers 11. So these dash written out 11s are completely new to me. And after the flip-flop, when all the ones around me changed and I finally find these two stores, I was freaking out. But I was thinking, wait a minute, the dash in these is white. And I was trying to think back. I was like, what color was the dash before the flip-flop? It was green. Now, this story kind of reminds me of the Chase story that I just posted because it's like a colored journey as if to show me that, yes, it's actually changing on me. So I was like, well, I don't know. I mean, I can't do anything but tell everyone that the dash was green in my video and it wasn't as brightly obvious, this bright white dash. Well, today I was driving around, I found another one. So I took a picture of it and I was like, oh my gosh, the dash is green in this one. This one is exactly like the ones I remember before the flip-flop. And I was wondering, well, I wonder if some of these exist now and the other ones exist, like the two realities merged and now they're both here, kind of like I was saying. And then I looked back at these old pictures of the first couple I had found and I was like, oh my gosh, the dash is now green. It's no longer white. So now I've had them spelled out with a green dash, spelled out with a white dash, and not spelled out at all. And then it gets even weirder. So when I took the picture today of the one I found in daylight, I was zooming in on the picture and I saw this really weird yellow orb thing floating along in front of the sign. And I zoomed in on it, and it's not in the second picture I took of it, but it is also again in the third picture I took of it, kind of like as if it's flying through the photos or flying in the air. And I hadn't changed position. I was in a stopped car. I don't know what the heck this thing is, but it looks the same to me in both photos. It's got a sort of a solid center and a little bit of like a hazy mist outer area. So I don't know what the heck that creature is, ghost or energy ball or what it is, but it happened right when I snapped the pictures of the one that I remember having seen. So I was getting a lot of comments on that video like this from Always Happy. I'm an 80s child. It always read 24/7/11. Never like I've seen it, right? I'd never seen a 24 on the 7-Eleven signs, but maybe this is what they were talking about. It wasn't 24/7-Eleven, so I don't know, they'll have to come and tell me. But when I was in Mexico, I did see some 24/7-Eleven signs, so I was able to get that for those people, so they're not crazy either. I believe it means for 24 hours, but honestly, I've never seen the 24 in the sign, ever. This is the first time. All right, lastly, another new thing. So I never knew cats to ever have red pupils, but now they can have blood red pupils. So this is a real cat's eye. And yes, now I guess cats can have red pupils. That wasn't in my reality before. Okay, great. Have a nice day, and I'm going to try to do more follow-up videos in segments and sections with adding some new stuff in here and there.